Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 29 by Senator Klein Peter is a concurrent resolution to express the sincere condolences of the Legislature of Louisiana upon the death of former Louisiana State Senator, the Honorable Thomas A. Tom Greene, to acknowledge his commitment, to note his many contributions made on behalf of, and to commend the legacy of public service he leaves to the people of his community, the state of Louisiana, and the nation. Whereas it is with great sadness that the citizens of Louisiana have learned of the passing from this life on March 22nd, 2024, of former Louisiana State Senator Thomas A. Tom Greene. And whereas Tom Greene was born on September 7, 1948, one of 7 children born to the union of George and Wiley May Greene. And whereas he was a native of Fenton, a village in Jefferson Davis Parish, Louisiana, where his father served as mayor and his mother ran the local post office. And whereas Tom Greene was a 3-time graduate of LSU, having earned a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, a master's degree in nuclear engineering, and a doctorate degree in veterinary medicine, and served as the LSU College of Engineering student body president in 1970. And whereas Tom Greene and his beloved wife of 51 years, Kathy Castleman Greene, settled in Marion, Louisiana, between the bayous, and raised 5 children there, Holland, Craig, Jason, Ryan, and Boyd, whereas Tom Greene's humble beginnings brought him from the bayous to the highlands along the Mississippi River to represent the people of Louisiana, where he served state senator representing Senate District 17. And whereas Tom Greene, a practicing veterinarian by trade, had never sought an elected office before, but yet in 1992, he defeated a veteran lawmaker in a runoff for the Louisiana Senate with 51% of the vote. And whereas he subsequently won re-election 4 years later in 1995, capturing 58% of the vote. And whereas he represented District 17 in the Louisiana Senate from 1992 to 2000, where he served as chairman of the Senate Committee on Education and was one of the first lawmakers at the Louisiana State Capitol to champion the broad expansion of school choice. And whereas his efforts in the Louisiana Senate resulted in new standards of school accountability for parents and more rigorous academic benchmarks for students, and whereas he loved the people of Louisiana and fought tirelessly to make this state a better place for future generations to come. And whereas Tom Greene was a true public servant, and after his 2 terms in the Louisiana Senate, he entered the race for governor in 1999, surprising political observers by filing on the last day of qualifying. And whereas as running on a platform of improving education across Louisiana by expanding school choice, pursuing robust economic development strategy, and instituting a higher ethical standards for elected officials, Tom Greene's campaign emphasized how an engaged executive with fresh ideas could usher in a new era of prosperity for the state of Louisiana. Whereas, while thousands of Louisianans rallied behind him and supported him as a candidate for governor at the ballot box, he ultimately finished 3rd. And whereas Tom Greene returned to the community of Livonia, which welcomed him home, where he continued his veterinary practice. And whereas rooted in a belief that life's about relationships and none greater than knowing our Lord, Thomas A. Tom Greene's legacy demonstrates that he truly dedicated his life to helping and serving others. And whereas while humbled by the accolades and recognition he received throughout his lifetime, Thomas A. Tom Greene's most incredible and cherished reward was his role as a loving husband, father, grandfather, and friend. And whereas Tom Greene, as patriarch and anchor, succeeded in keeping his family grounded in their values and giving them an appreciation of what is truly important in life. Whereas knowing that Thomas A. Tom Greene was a man with unshakable Christian faith serves as a source of comfort to his family, and whereas Tom Greene's legacy will continue to live on through his family, his community, this state, and beyond. And whereas he was preceded in death by his daughter Meredith Claire and granddaughter Jamie, and is survived by his wife Kathy, children Holland, Craig, Jason, Ryan, and Boyd, 21 grandchildren, and a host of extended family members and friends, be it resolved that the Legislature of Louisiana does hereby extend heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of Thomas A. Tom Greene, husband, father, grandfather, friend, legislator, and community leader who set an extraordinary standard of graciousness and good citizens for all to emulate.
Senator Klein-Peter.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, you can have a seat. I have a few words that I need to say. It is my honor to share some brief memories and thoughts on former Senator Tom Greene, who was beloved by so many. Former Senator J.E. Jumonville, Jr. preceded Tom Greene in the 17th District and shares his gratitude to Tom and his family for answering God's calling to serve this great state. Former Senator Rob Marino, who served in the House from 96 to 2000 and replaced Senator Greene in the Senate from 2000 to 2012, shares, "I had the honor and privilege of serving with Tom in my first term in the House. It was Senator Greene's second term in the Senate. My office was directly across the street from his veterinary and legislative office in Livonia. I would often walk across to seek his guidance on the many issues facing the legislature. He also happened to serve as my local veterinarian for my animals and livestock. In both areas of his life, Senator Greene was a stalwart leader. He was a man of his word. He believed in term limits, and when the end of his second term came to pass, he never wavered. Though he would have easily been reelected, perhaps without opposition, he was true to his principles. He was guided by his faith, family, and his love of Louisiana. Senator Greene was a proponent of educational reform long before others and believed every student should be prepared to go to college. And although I disagreed, we never let that or anything else come between our belief in a better Louisiana. Former Senator Rick Ward, who joins us here today, served from 2012 to 2022. He says Senator Greene served here for 8 years, not because he couldn't have served longer, but because he committed to that in his first campaign. While I was just a kid then, the one thing I remember was how he voted on principle. He knew where he stood on the issues, and so did others. With a smile on his face, he would tell you where he stood. He understood that you can be on opposing sides of an issue and still be friendly, something we can all learn from here. During my service, he would call me from time to time to simply encourage me, something I was always so thankful for. His words were always genuine, perfectly timed, and well received. I was blessed to have known him and called him a friend. While I didn't have the honor of knowing him as well as others, but everybody I talked to said words aren't enough to describe former Senator Greene. I've spoken to his son, Public Service Commissioner Dr. Craig Greene, many times about his father in the months leading up to Mr. Tom's passing. I learned more about the amazing man of God that stood right here in this same place. Craig shared that his dad lived by saying so much that they put it on his tombstone. I might have tried and failed, but I never failed to try. I felt that trying and failing wasn't the problem. The problem was getting beat by not trying at all to make this state a better place. I remember reading an article recently written by Tyler Bridges, who we have here today. Did an amazing job interviewing many people who worked with Senator Greene. This is one of my favorite quotes from Senator Greene. I want to pass it on to all of us in this room. He said to his friend and now U.S. Senator Bill Cassidy, who asked for advice when he decided to run for state senate in 2006, he said, "You're going to have tough decisions. Get all of the facts you possibly can. Make the best decision you can and move on. Every once in a while, it will turn out not to be the right decision. But you can't have regrets. You have to live with yourself." As you can tell from the words of his friends and his colleagues, former Senator Tom Greene was one of a kind. Miss Kathy, and to the rest of the Greene family, we offer this small token through this resolution to respectfully say to his family, thank you. Thank you for sharing him with us so that he could serve the people of Louisiana in such an honorable way.